Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Purpose Fridays with Sherry Watson and the Positive Action Coalition. And with us once again. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's get started. First, before we begin, let's bring on the one, the only, the founder of the Power of Purpose, Sherry Watson.
Hey, happy Friday, you guys. Happy Purpose Hour. This is our happy hour with a purpose. And you guys, today is the start of something huge. So we've been doing this series about all the rebuilding and how we come together and bring the nonprofits to lead that movement, how we bring the groups in Texas that are in the Houston area, bring them together to build that coalition and troops on the ground. So each week we've had a warehouse donated. We've had the folks on the ground talk about needing all the rehab supplies now, getting things over there. We've had some other things donated in the mold and that. We have some state efforts happening now. So today is like the pre-launch. We put together a newsletter, a letter, and a logo. And this last weekend, we all met in Albuquerque, you guys, with our students from around the country. A lot of them live in the Houston area, the Florida area. We have a couple in the Puerto Rico now. We have a group going down to Key West. So we said today we're going big. We're launching the Positive Action Coalition. This last weekend in Albuquerque, man, everybody came together. We talked about how to create a movement so that this country can be a part of it. So I see so many new folks with this. So we all sent out emails to our list, to our communities, to our tribes, to our friends, to our families, to our colleagues. So you guys, from here on out, spread the word on Purpose Friday. And we're going to raise the funds to donate and to distribute to our nonprofits starting in the Houston area. And then move from there, our folks that are working in the Key West area. Our country needs us more than ever. Now we've got Las Vegas, we've got the fires in California. No longer can we sit back and wait. So the Positive Action Coalition and a platform that Skip and Derek created for all of you that's going to keep you guys connected, bring together the difference makers, philanthropists with a positive news network. It's called the Positive Action Platform, positiveactionplatform.org. And you wait till you see the video Mr. Skip Thomas produced with all of our students on the ground, the things they're doing. Excuse me. Goodness, you can tell I'm a little bit amped up here. So you guys, you know, for this country, everybody with us today, when you go to positiveactionplatform.org, when you listen to Corliss and Camilla and Skip and Pastor Walter and Tim Mai and the groups in Houston, the devastation is so deep. Go to the positiveactionplatform.org. You're going to see this most amazing video of what they're doing on the ground and the donate now. You guys, you can be a part of this by donating to the nonprofits that are making a difference on the ground. So Derek, with that, I'd love to open it up and first of all, share our gratitude, Skip. Skip's been part of the Positive Action Coalition. Skip has been meeting with the coalition each week as we move this forward. And Skip has been taking the videos and the pictures and creating the most phenomenal story of what happened, what folks are doing now, where the need is, and where they're headed. So again, Skip, amazing. We'll have that video up on Positive Action Platform. You guys go there, send friends there, get folks to donate, get folks. This is the way everybody can be a part of bringing hope to folks in this country that are hurting, of bringing solutions, of just being there. And so with that, Derek, open it up with the series we've been doing. And I'd love to hear now from Camila as we do this pre-launch today. And everybody spread the word. Everybody get you folks on next Friday. And let's show this country how we, the people, can make the difference. We, the people, can bring the funding in, even if it's $1, even if it's $5. All of us together, and then distribute that money to Camila's nonprofit, Corliss's nonprofit, all the nonprofits in Houston. They're out there walking the streets, meeting with people, bringing them supplies, bringing their needs. So Camila, it's great to see you. I'd love to have you kind of give us an update and start off our Purpose Friday with the donate now button. Let's get the funds going and bring so much support to people in Houston.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here, Sherry, Derek. Thanks for having me on.
Hi, Camila.
Just really happy about how the coalition has been able to kind of get things going and to help people. And, you know, Sherry, when you talk about the other areas, I just saw an interview with the mayor, you know, over in Puerto Rico and in San Juan. They're still waiting for medications, for water. And what she said is, you know, in the local communities, FEMA can't always do everything, you know, and she said that everything they've been able to do has been through volunteers, private donors, private foundations, money coming in, $10, $20, $40 at a time. And that's the same thing here in Houston. And I don't know that people realize that, you know, the government is going to vote on this big budget, but it could be months before any of that money trickles down, you know, to our local mayor here. And the thing is, we need counseling for the children in the school right now. They're, you know, they need help because they've just been through a trauma, right? Moms need help with childcare. People need jobs. People need new cars. And you can't wait 6 or 7 months for any of that to happen. It needs to happen right now. And, you know, right now, private individuals and Americans who just, you know, want this country to get back on track are the answer to getting the money quickly to the people who are on the ground right now. So I'm just so happy that you guys are here, and thank you for coming to Purpose Fridays with us.
And to follow up that, I see a lot of you are new with this today. We've done a 4-part series leading up to this. And just to bring forward why the Positive Action Coalition formed, and we have our logo, we have a name, we have tons and tons of nonprofits that are all partners in the coalition. When we started looking at the needs and hearing about the funding that was being raised, and yet there was no money on the ground, you know, and we heard about that $15 billion from Congress, and people were hurting, people were suffering. FEMA vouchers weren't being accepted. People are evicted out of their apartments because now FEMA can get more money if they're a landlord using FEMA. The banks gave a 3-month reprieve. Folks had lost their homes, everything in their homes, their cars. Their employment has been stopped because now their businesses are flooded. And now the banks are saying, well, we'll give you a 3-month reprieve. But, oh, by the way, on the 4th month, you have to pay all 3 months plus the 4th month plus interest. There's not been any hope. And so as we move forward with all of our folks on the ground, Richard, I see you, Richard working with young kids with type 1 diabetes, and now they've even been able to get their supplies. And so how do all of us take our missions with what we're doing now and move forward? Well, one of our missions is advocacy. And so when we heard from Pastor that has one of the largest nonprofits in Houston, did $6 million worth of relief right the first few days, and he's out there in a big way. And we've all heard on the news and everything about the mayor did a GoFundMe with the judge's friend, and they raised $73 million. What we found out last week was 10% was allocated. The pastor said he just found out 10% was allocated. None of the nonprofits on the ground knew about it. There was no word out and the other 70 million won't be spent for probably 18 months or 2 years. That's unacceptable. When you hear the stories, when you know the devastation, we've got J.J. Watt raised so many 40 million. We've got the celebrities raised all those 40 millions. We've got, and the money's not helping the people. So that's the focus of the coalition. When we were on the call last week and we heard those kind of things, and we had a mayor on with us, a mayor from Texas also, that got on and said, this is unacceptable. This needs to be brought out to the public. She said, mayors do not like to have bad publicity. We need to ask questions. We need to get the media involved. And so that's what this coalition is about, being the voice for the people, you know, and standing firm in our beliefs that we'll do whatever it takes to help empower people and lift them up. So Corliss, it's so blessed to have you as part of the coalition too. You, Camilla, Richard, all of you with your nonprofits. And Corliss, you brought us a lot, talking to us about the needs in schools. You've been supplying a lot of needs in the schools and the kids. Give us an update now where you are and what the needs are. And let's get this community. We have a lot of people with us today, a lot of new folks, and bringing them up to speed with what we're about, the coalition we formed. Instead of one nonprofit, you know, with our mission, the Power Purpose, to launch and empower at least 10,000 nonprofits, now it's time to gather the nonprofits together, and that coalition, the power of numbers, for the coalition to move forward and start asking questions. Where's the money? Where's the help for the people? We saw what happened in Hurricane Katrina when the money got all tangled up at the top and didn't go to the people. We saw what happened when neighborhood stabilization, the foreclosure tsunami happened. $400 billion never got to the people. We hired a lot more government employees. We'd hire 30 and 40 people in one community to oversee the funding. Then there was no funding to go to the people. We saw the worst disaster financially in this country with the foreclosure tsunami. That's why we're being strong now. If we're not the ones that are asking, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the support for the people? And gathering, you guys, we sent letters to Ellen, we sent letters to Tilson in Houston. We're reaching out to the world. And so think big with us, and together, let's do the rebuilding. Let's show people how to bring communities together, and let the community be the one that brings the solutions. So we'll give them support financially. So go to Positive Action Platform, donate, send people, and we're going to be distributing the money amongst the nonprofits that are in the devastated areas right now. So Corliss, it's great to see you.
Hi, thank you so much. The more I dig into this, the more I'm so excited to be a part of this coalition and be a part of your vision to pull it all together. The principals, I've only touched base with one, only one has gotten back to me. I will actually just go to the other one and try to see what's going on. And because they're displaced, he just might be too busy that he just doesn't have time to reach out. And I really don't want to go the top down. I really want to establish a relationship with him. I don't want his boss to come down on him for not reaching out to me. But I just basically feel the need to go in there and help his families. What is going on with the one school that we have been in touch with is the guidance counselor is basically looking now to assess the needs, to find out the 5 families that need it the most. And so then they're going to basically put them in touch with us, or give them check with them to see if it's okay to give us their contact information. And then we will reach out to them and see and assess their needs. According to the school supplies are still big, and they've relaxed the code on uniforms. because the kids don't have the uniforms. So one of the things that I would like to do is basically give them uniforms, because kids feel better when they feel unified and a part of it. When everybody else is in uniform and you're not in uniform because your family can't afford it. I mean, kids are cruel. Regardless to what we think about the bullying situation, kids are cruel. So just basically set them up to achieve, because that's the big buzzword in Houston ISD, the achievement gap, and basically setting them up to be successful. So that's the other thing. I've reached out to a car dealership here in Houston, and while they can't donate all the cars, I've asked them to donate one car, so that we can basically give them some type of hope and basically kind of do a raffle so that at least one thing is taken care for them. And I think everybody's seen that the guy from Gallery Furniture is giving a house full of furniture away a week. His first week went to a police officer and his wife and their family. So it's just so much, I mean, it's just so much devastation and so much going on that I wish we could do more, and I wish we could touch more people. But my goal is to touch the ones that I can and make it as effective as I possibly can. And basically, it's one family at a time. So that's kind of where we are.
Great. Well, you know, sharing with us the last couple of weeks and going to the open house for a school, and half of the teachers have lost their homes and everything they have, and trying to support the little kids that have been uprooted, and the stories of that going and just taking everything out of the home, dumping it on the front yard, and then you guys sharing that, getting the calls from the neighborhoods that were just on the curbs crying and devastated because now the crane's coming in and taking away their life, their baby beds, their blankets, their pictures, everything they own. And so, you know, it's more, it's not just like going in and clearing out the mud and that. It's rebuilding people's lives. And when I watched because I love football, I'm watching the Houston game the other night, and they showed this huge land, and there was over 30,000 cars, and they were showing from above. Those are all the cars that have been flooded that they've just had to tow somewhere else. And, you know, it's like, okay, a car. You guys, that is families' transportation. That's families getting to soccer practice. That's families taking their kids to the pharmacy to get the insulin for the kid with type 1 diabetes.
Especially in Houston, because we don't have mass transportation here.
I know.
Everything is like 20 minutes from where you need to be, 20 to 30 minutes. So that's huge.
Yep, I know. And 80,000 homes do not have flood insurance, at least. That's 80,000 families, guys. We talk about Puerto Rico, Key West. Houston was the first one that's hit. We're starting with Houston and moving from there. The devastation that you guys share with us, people that are in hospitals now, many of our nonprofits, colleagues, friends in the hospital, one of the mayors in the hospital because of respiratory infections, because of all the mold and everything in the houses. Some of the folks we heard last week, they will not accept FEMA vouchers, so they have to move back into a home that's still flooded, hasn't been ripped out. They're wearing hazmat suits. We have no idea. And that's why you guys, all of us on this call, go to Positive Action Platform. Even $1, you guys. Let's get some funding to Camilla, to Richard, to Corliss, to Pastor, all the nonprofits that are on the ground that are serving folks. So, Richard, great to see you. Love for you to share a little bit about your nonprofit. I forgot to have Camilla and Corliss share about their nonprofit, but when you go to Positive Action Platform, it's kind of the work in progress. You'll be seeing their logos, their websites, their names, their mission statements. You're going to see the huge coalition that is moving this forward with positive action. So Richard, how are you doing? You're muted.
Oh, there we go. I'm unmuted now.
Got you now, Richard. How are you?
How's it going? Good. Yeah, I'm excited about what we're all doing. It was, last time we talked about, with our nonprofit, empowering families that are affected by type 1 diabetes. We know that there are a lot of, with the effects of the hurricane, if people haven't lost, their homes, they might have lost a job. And, and in cases around here, there are a lot of pharmacies that are flooded. And it was interesting. I was at a doctor's visit earlier today, and we forgot to tell my doctor with prescriptions to change our pharmacy because our pharmacy is still flooded and it hasn't opened back up yet. So I know there's a big need out there for supplies, for people that are on pumps. My wife Sarah's type 1 diabetic. Jack was just recently diagnosed, so we kind of have an idea of what people use and what they need, and so we'd like to be, we're on the ground. We'd like to be able to have those things available and go to these folks that need it and help them out with whatever they need, so they can continue to rebuild and get through all of this. So we're excited about what everyone's doing, what you guys are putting together.
Awesome. Well, you guys, and it's not just about donating. It's about what can you bring to provide support, provide hope. And I see so many of our mastermind students, so many of our mentoring students on, like Cindy. Cindy's in Atlanta, but her nonprofit is so powerful. It provides employment services, especially with women, to get them back, to support their children, and so she's offered all the folks working with Camilla. Camilla's nonprofit is in Houston. She works with entrepreneurs, businesses, and working with Camilla, she's offered now to be able to provide resume writing and that kind of thing. Last weekend when we were in Albuquerque together, I see that Marianne's with us. Marianne, Rose, Pam, you guys, this is the group that came together. And they're not from Houston. Marianne's Chicago, Rose is California, Pam's Washington. Everybody's coming together to see how we can support each other. So the Positive Action Coalition is something that's going to be around long after we're gone, with the ultimate goal of teaching communities how to come together and bring solutions. So right now it's in the rebuilding, the devastation that's going on in this country. But ultimately, to be powerful and advocates. And, I come from the disability community. We always said nothing about us without us. You can't create solutions for us without us being involved. It's the same thing for this coalition. Now the strength together to say, where's the money? Where's the money? We've got troops on the ground with the right kind of entity, with the right heart, the purpose-led, and the business minds that can bring the solutions. So all of you listening right now, all of you with this, we need supplies there. We need sheetrock. We need tape. We need paint. The basics. They've gone in and cleaned the houses out, most of them, stripped out everything, getting the mold out. But what they need now is supplies. We have a warehouse that's been donated. We have troops on the ground. We have many ministries that are there to rehab, but we need the supplies. So any of you that can do that, we'll navigate you to that warehouse, and all of our teams know where the warehouse is. They're going and getting stuff out of the warehouse. Let's give the power to the people on the ground, and let's be the support for them. So whether it's supplies, Derek, whether it's funding, you guys be a part of this. And next week on the series, we're going to bring out our Positive Action Coalition letter and our logo and the nonprofit partners that are involved. And we're bringing in for-profit partners because, you know, one of our strengths is teaching people the for-profit, nonprofit. And it's going to be huge for years in all these areas that we're talking about, working together side by side. So, Derek, I want to bring Marianne and Pam on and just talk about the power of the coalition. You're not in Houston, you're not in Florida, you're not in those devastated areas, but you are part of being so strong and building this coalition. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I see we have Marianne and Pam on with us now.
Yeah.
We brought them on. Hey, Marianne.
Hey.
Hey.
We welcome Marianne out of the great city of Chicago. Hi, Marianne. How are you?
Good. Like Sherry was saying, even though I'm from Chicago, you know, the natural disasters throughout the United States and in Puerto Rico still affect everybody else. And yeah, I don't live in Houston or Florida, but I have a lot of friends that live down there and I know what they're experiencing. And so we're just, you know, normal individuals getting together to help each other. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter the color of our skin or where we live or what we do. It's just from the goodness of our heart. And so we want to put together the coalition to help others so they can live their lives in a wonderful way and get back to what the way their life used to be. Because I know how devastating it is. Like, for example, I deal with the homeless here in Chicago, and you hear the stories how their life used to be. And then I just look at some of the things that are happening throughout the United States with the hurricanes and everybody losing their homes, and it's really not any different. It's just, you know, we're all getting together to help another person that we don't even know. We don't need to know the people. It's just from the kindness from everyone's hearts that'll help put this all together.
Absolutely. And what we talked about, Marianne, was, you know, initially with Purpose Fridays now and creating a continuing to highlight the relief and recovery and rebuilding efforts of the communities devastated by the hurricanes and storms, led by the Power Purpose and our coalition. Now gone into not just even Florida, but what we're seeing in California. But really now it's about just rebuilding community and strengthening community and revitalizing communities across the country now with this coalition. That's why we're just so incredibly just honored, really, to see what this has morphed into such a short amount of time at a national scale, and have you in Chicago. And then we also have Pam up here out of the great state of Washington as well. See if we can get her on.
And then Derek, while you're doing that,
There she is. Hi, Pam.
Hi, sorry, I'm at work, so I had to come out into an hour so I can actually say something.
Quick, go to the sneak out to the break room. Coffee break. Coffee break.
I'm just kind of meandering out in the hall, loitering. But I don't know that I could add much more than Marianne did. It's kind of like you say, seeing these people in a place that we can't imagine being in, and wanting to do every little bit that we can to help, however it means, whatever it means to help provide it. I just can't imagine what it would be like to be there and have my home totally gone, my car gone, not to be able to go to work or just to get the basics. So like Marianne said, what do? Your heart's right there. You just have to, you're compelled to. I can't think of any better reason. And like Sherry said, you know, our hearts are in the right place. There is no gain for us except to know that you've done what you know you really ought to do.
That's wonderful, Pam. And by the way, we see you walking through work. It's got to be Friday. I see that. I can tell you're rocking the 12th man with the Seahawks. You said you and
I'm
Mom
afraid
here,
so.
a lot of big-time football fans on this call. It's great. Okay. So, thank you so much, Pam. And that's also what we've been discussing how this coalition is now on a national scale, a national level, about a sense of a community and a coalition now that's really morphed into a movement about community. We have a lot of people here that are purpose pioneers or members of our coalition, all geared in the movement of Giving Tuesday that we discussed on a great training last night, getting them geared up for Giving Tuesday, getting our coalition geared up for November 28th of this year, next month, for Giving Tuesday. And it's all centered around giving back, on generosity, on service. And that's what this coalition really embodies. And that's why all of you out there that are watching right now, I want you to continue to join us, to support us, to support them, to help raise awareness, to help get this out into a larger internet audience that you can do to help us by sharing this with your contacts, your network, your circle, your peers, your friends, your family. And we're going to keep bringing you more about our coalition. That's all the group here and so many more that are with us today.
And you guys, part of the coalition, part of our role is the advocacy. I'm going to stress that again. And there's so many new ones, but when last week I said, I was wondering if I was being too strong because I was saying we need to demand answers. We need to demand. Why isn't that $15 billion available? Why isn't that FEMA vouchers working? Why aren't banks being held accountable? Why aren't landlords being held accountable and can evict people to get a FEMA voucher? Why can a GoFundMe 70-some million be raised by a mayor and a judge and there's no accountability? The nonprofits on the ground didn't know about it, and they're not going to submit the other 70 million for 18 months, 2 years. That's not acceptable. When people are hurting, people donated to help people. And if they knew that money was going to be held onto for a couple of years and reinvested or whatever they're doing with it, would have they? So it's time for us to ask questions. People are tired of the political, you got to be internal to know, to be able to access things. We the people. And when I said, I was thinking, 3 weeks ago when I was saying we've got to demand answers, was I too strong? And when I walked by that computer screen last week and heard on the voices saying, free our people, real homes, not nursing homes. And I'm going, that's my world. And I turned around and looked, and it's my community of disability advocates taking over the Senate hearing because in this healthcare bill, they were cutting Medicaid. You know what that'll do? That'll increase our budget 5 times because we'll go back into nursing homes that we fought 20 years to be able to be part of the American dream and get rid of that institutional bias. So no, it's not too much to demand. When you stand firm in your belief, when you realize we're the voice for the voiceless, when we know that without a doubt that we're the soldiers in the army of compassion, and we've seen this over and over where the money stays at the top. And when I listened to Governor Huckabee over and over in the very beginning, when they would say, what advice would you give our leaders, our administration on this? And he said, make it about people, not paperwork. People, not paperwork.
Yep.
So we have folks from all levels. We had the mayor on with us last week saying, you've got to ask questions. You've got to demand answers. And mayor was saying that. It's time, guys. People are hurting. Now we've got California, and now we've got in Las Vegas what happened. This country needs the Positive Action Coalition. So Derek, is there a way that you can pull up or give me the screen? I've got the call to action that everybody came up with. So we have the face-to-face in Albuquerque with Marianne and Pam and all of us together. And then we've also been meeting weekly with like the folks in Houston that can come, can right now with Life Upside Down. And together we created a call to action. So Derek, do you want me to read it? Do you want to put it on the screen? What would be easiest?
Sure. You want to bring up the summary?
Yeah, I got it up.
Okay, one moment.
And you guys, you know, I've been doing this for a long, long time, probably longer than a lot of you been around, like 30 some years. And the power that we have as a community, as a group of people coming together, we can bring tremendous change. We can get the funds to the folks that are out there making the impact. We, people with disabilities, if we would have sit back and waited for them to take care of us, for them to create, we'd still be in institutions and nursing homes. So it's about we, the people, moving forward, getting answers, having the right folks on the ground. We have it ready. We have the nonprofits. We have the leaders. We have folks. So together, you know, let's go start asking those questions. You ready for me to read it?
Yes, if you'd like to share your screen, you have the capability now.
Now, how do I share the screen? Do I just push share screen?
Yes, and then it'll pop up the window, highlight the program summary, and let's unveil it.
Now, can you see it?
There we are.
Yeah, really, it's working?
You betcha.
Woo! For me, technology, that's big.
You're very technologically sound. You don't give yourself enough credit for your technology expertise.
Woo! You guys, this is powerful. This is our community, our family, the power of purpose. All of Marianne, Pam, Corliss, Camilla, Richard, Rose, I mean, on and on and on. You guys are amazing. So this is the logo that everyone came up with, Positive Action Coalition. And the headline, the world is changing and we are changing the world. The world is rapidly changing. You can feel it, you can see it, and you can sense it. Incredible advances in our society, especially in technology, they continue to grow at an exponential rate. Yet you also notice our society faces incredible challenges, disasters, tragedies, challenges that need entrepreneurial-minded people like all of you guys listening, all of you with us right now, to address all these issues. Disasters, while seemingly difficult to overcome, present an enormous call that we as human beings, we as a community, we need to answer. That's why we're so excited to introduce you today to the Positive Action Coalition. So I'm Sherry, I'm co-founder of the Power Purpose. We're national leaders in developing the best of breed nonprofit corporations. And I'm going to add in a little thing. We don't teach bake sale charities. These are corporations that are led as businesses. That's how our little tiny community of people with disabilities led one nonprofit, another nonprofit, 800 nonprofits around the country that we built from the grassroots up. We involved people with disabilities. We led it, and we created the Americans with Disabilities Act. Can you imagine what we can do now with social media, with all the online? Now as a coalition, there's no limit. So the Power of Purpose has trained thousands of nonprofits that have diverse and important missions, from affordable housing to veterans, people with disability, aging Americans, renewable energy. But few nonprofits have services and resources to deliver the kind of disaster right now we're experiencing and facing. We need to nurture the Positive Action Coalition so that we can shift the paradigm collectively, creating an everlasting impact in the world. Never once have we had the communal alliance of so many nonprofits around the country that are serving the world. There was so many missions. Now they're leading the way. So the Power Purpose and the nonprofits have teamed up to make the biggest impact this country's ever seen through the Positive Action Coalition. This has never been done before. And with the help of you and the aspiring, selfless nonprofits in America, we're going to create, build, and leave a legacy that makes an impact and changes this world forever. We are the purpose pioneers of the Positive Action Coalition. So join us, you guys. The Positive Action Coalition is blazing a path to preserve and cherish the journey of compassion. The trails of our legacy will be traveled by every generation that follows. We must keep moving, guys. We must keep traveling this pathway so that our purpose will be infinite. Together, we'll show the world we're ready. Let's show them the power of the people and how we prosper. We're partners. We're united. We are purpose pioneers leading the way with the Positive Action Coalition. So it's up to us. It's up to us to create a higher purpose. You are so needed, you guys, every one of you. Join us in our coalition of nonprofits, to those that give service to those in need. We will use our combined compassion to create beautiful change and empower the people we serve. Not hand out, hand up, lift up. Now we have the power to move this country and the world in a positive direction. Now's the time to be courageous. Now's the time to inspire. Now is the time for action. Here's the creed that the Purpose Pioneers came up with last year. I want you to really listen, because this is what we're moving forward with. I have the power to change the world. If I'm going to change the world, I need a world of purpose within me. A world filled with purpose begins with me. I have the power to make a difference for loved ones, others in need, and myself. Through the power of purpose, I will be that difference. Through determination, focus, and my purpose, I will live my purpose, dream big, and achieve my goals. Everything is possible, for we are the Positive Action Coalition. Isn't that awesome, you guys? We're going to put this on the Power of Purpose Facebook page. We're going to put an email in there that you can send out to all the tribes. Tony Robbins, Ellen, Deepak, Oprah. We're not stopping, guys. We're not stopping. Can you imagine what we can do together? When you watch Ellen and she's on TV and Ricky Martin comes on and she donates $100,000 for what he's doing in Puerto Rico. Can you imagine bringing that effort to where it's Puerto Rico, it's Texas, it's Florida, it's Las Vegas, it's California. We're the ones that have the responsibility to get involved and help those in need right now. So Derek, I don't know what I've done to the technology. I have no idea.
No, well stated. Thank you also for reading for our, really the embodiment of who we are and our creed and what we stand for. We hear so often about what do you stand against, but not too often what you stand for. So thank you so much for reading off that creed that we wrote up last year. And also, there's somebody I'd like to hear from as well, who's been with me side by side since the beginning of this year with the development of the platform, the Positive Action Platform, which is, again, the platform geared towards highlighting and showcasing our Positive Action Coalition. And that's Skip Thomas. Many of you know who's on here. Skip, I know you are just a go guy, right? I know he's probably traveling and moving around, hustling, bustling, but he's at a point where he could jump on and love just for him to say a few words as well. Talk about his newly formed nonprofit as well, what it's about and how it also interacts within our coalition. So Skip, I think we've gone through everybody in our coalition that's on today. If you're there, I'd love for you to say a few words, if possible.
I'm here. I'm driving. Can you hear me?
Of course. I knew it. On the go, Skip.
Hello, this is Skip. I'm driving. Can you hear me? I don't know if the camera's on or just the audio, but I'm driving. I've been in Little Rock filming for the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra, doing helping raise some funds for children and youth and in the school systems to get instruments and teachers and so forth. So I just finished filming. We put the video up. That was a lot of the members of the coalition. You know, my love and what I do, and I've had a great career in film and television and documentaries and charitable organizations and nonprofits, hospitals, politicians, you name it. At a point in my life where I wanted to do follow my passion and use the skills, talent that God gave me, and now the beautiful relationships of this group that I'm so grateful to be a part of. And what I hope to do is just be a vehicle to help tell the stories. And as we can out there and push each of your agendas and be a voice with images and music. I've created my own nonprofit called Amplifying Truth, and also have a couple of board members and people I've worked with for many years. John Mark Huckabee, that's the son of Governor Huckabee, and he's I think on the call here, and he is on my board with the nonprofit. He also has been he interned for me 20 years ago. When I did a lot of Mike Huckabee's campaigns for him when he was running for lieutenant governor. And but my passion is really we can tell some great stories, and we can and I'd like to be able to help train and see how now with, as you were talking about, Sherry, technology. Back in the days, it was expensive cameras and huge, and now you've got digital cameras that you can strap on your head, that come on your phone. You can edit. And so I'd love to be able to do a little bit of training to help people on the front line that are doing the work, capture some of the work they're doing, get it to me, and then I can help tell the stories of the coalition. So it's really exciting. I'm thrilled. I just opened up some accounts, got a studio in Mountain View, and the other board member with me in Amplifying Truth is a dear friend, Mark Jones. He's the son of Grandpa Ramona Jones from Nashville Hee Haw days in Grand Ole Opry, and has been a good friend of mine for, 35, 40 years. And but anyhow, we've got a great group of people here, and whose hearts and passion and working together really is an example of what we want for this whole country. And I'm just honored and humbled to be a part of it. So thank you, Derek.
Oh, thank you so much, Skip, for jumping on. And I know, as you always say, Skip is just with his projects, and talked about he's very modest with his gifts and talents, with how he can deliver such powerful stories through a medium like film and video. And that's also why he's worked with us to develop for our Positive Action Coalition, the Positive Action Platform. A platform, it's a web-based online gateway dedicated to educating and connecting difference makers to charitable endeavors and social causes. So everyone that's on here that's part of our coalition will be out there in their respective communities, working with local media, filming their own imagery, and we're going to be putting that on the platform, because the mission of our platform is to connect our coalition, these difference makers, thought leaders, philanthropists, nonprofit experts, to a broad internet audience, to address, so we can really show it, to better address the needs and challenges that our community, our society faces, so we can foster positive change across our country and hopefully around the world. So by using this platform with our coalition to showcase and highlight the efforts of these difference makers through a larger online audience right here through that platform, we really hope to inspire more people, those of you that are on right now, about helping us to come support our coalition, get more involved within your own community. We're talking about Giving Tuesday. We really hope to inspire more people to become difference makers in their own respective communities, and ultimately, again, just foster positive change and for the betterment of our country and the world. And Skip has been very instrumental with helping us build this platform, again, to connect our difference makers, our purpose pioneers, our Positive Action Coalition to an internet audience through storytelling. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Starting today, it starts today. I can't wait for you guys to see this incredible video that we have out. We have more of, we've just actually been getting a few reports now about what's going on in California and elsewhere. Again, to get that out there, show people, you know, there's a huge need. We have a lot of just very innovative solutions on how to do that through nonprofit and nonprofit for-profit partnerships. We've been talking about Houston with some very prominent real estate investors. A lot of outside, this is just an example, a lot of outside real estate investors are starting to kind of come in and bombard and buy up all these distressed properties that were damaged by the storm or flooded. And they're finding out it's pushing people away. It's not allowing them to come back, especially if they were like rental properties. A lot of people that don't have incomes anymore there, they can't sustain it. It's depressing the values neighborhoods, which hurts a lot of people that live there, versus these real estate investors that actually live in the Houston area, partnering with nonprofits, just getting that conversation started. Again, for the same thing about having them on their for-profit side, really help bolster them as a for-profit and what they do, but have the nonprofit partner that comes in that really brings a sense that's more on, you know, that's people-oriented, that brings a solution to that side of it as well. So just really excited, and thank you so much, Skip, and thank you to all of our coalition for jumping on today. I see some on Facebook as well. Glad to have you guys on. And just really just excited to announce this. I know we've been talking about this last couple of weeks, now officially kicking it off, and the need continues to grow. And all of you that are on, again, we talk about helping and support is just by raising awareness and just joining us, join our movement, get involved. And we just look forward to bringing about change with all of us doing it together.
And I love what you said, Derek, about just get involved. You know, just be a part. You guys, what we're doing right here is taking that first step and bringing back the economic landscape of our country. We envisioned the mission for the Power Purpose with the being to launch and empower at least 10,000 nonprofits. The vision was then to bring us together to create movements, to create coalitions. Little did we know it would start with, in July when we had our live mastermind, our Purpose Pioneers came together, half of our group was from Houston. And so as Harvey started coming in, and as Nada was reaching out and calling them and finding out one of the couples was on the roof waiting to be rescued by the helicopter, there was devastation. That's when we started bringing it together. That's what we all, as the Purpose Pioneers from Chicago, from Seattle, from upstate New York, from all over the country, started saying, how can we help? How can we be a part of this? How can we bring solutions? So all of you guys listening in right now, part of this, it's not just about rebuilding devastated areas. It's about all of us coming together and bringing solutions for broken systems. We know this country cannot continue the way it is with education. What are we, 39th now? One of our mastermind students is leading the way with empowering and providing trainings for teachers that are lost, teachers that have no hope. And there are leaders for our kids. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. What are we doing? What are we doing with our money? With the VA has billions and billions, and our nonprofits on the ground are getting referred people that the VA can't help, and they're hopeless. They have no kind of supports. They have no housing. They have no anything. What are we doing? With disability, you guys, We all lived in nursing homes. And when I went and saw one young man, we were paying $500,000 a year for him to lay in a bed of pee. And we went and met with our governor and talked about the economic impact of letting people move home, hire an attendant, their mom, their cousin, the relative, a neighbor. And we went from $500,000 for him to $14,000 a year. Plus we created a job for his mom who'd lived on welfare, and she's now a taxpayer. We were the first state in the nation that had a positive Medicaid budget, because we as the community, we the people, we came together and brought solutions. The recidivism rate in prisons, 80%, and we wonder why. We let them out at 3 in the morning with $5 with the record that they can't get housing. They're now a felon. We say good luck, and they're back in within 2 weeks. I wonder why. Where's the supports for them? Juvenile justice, our kids that are so lost, the opioid crisis, all the overdoses, the leading cause of death in this country is prescription overdoses. We have to step up, and the Positive Action Coalition, that's what we call it, the positive action. We have an opportunity and an obligation and a responsibility to step up and be part of the solution. When one of our mastermind students is working with kids and her nonprofit to try to get some funding, doing these amazing equestrian center, different things, teaching kids leadership, empowering them, and her funding hasn't come through from the county, but they're building a multi-million-dollar juvenile justice center right downtown. So we can teach these little kids how to be criminals and warehouse them at 100 times the amount it would cost for them to get support and in the community and as our future leaders. So it's not just about rebuilding. You guys have an opportunity. Join Positive Action Coalition. Go to the Positive Action platform. Donate now. Tell us you can have a truckload of sheetrock delivered to Houston. What can you do to help us in Key West with our nonprofit? What about the fires in California? Together, let's move this forward, and let's have that open door with now the administration. Let's take our Positive Action Coalition and sit with our administration and meet with the Secretary of HUD and meet with the Secretary of Treasury and give them solutions that make sense business-wise that we can carry out in the community. We've got business leaders now in the administration that we can bring common sense business solutions. So you purpose pioneers, the mastermind leaders, you're why we're doing what we're doing. You're leading the way. We're so blessed to be a part of it and to be joined arm in arm, because I know together we can reshape the fabric of America and of this world. And that's what Positive Action Coalition is all about.
Oh, well stated. Thank you, everyone, in our coalition to join us today. Thank you for those that tuned in. And in closing, something else about the coalition, and that's an opportunity for everyone that's on. We have something very special planned 3 weeks from today. Just a brief mention about that. You know, you've been seeing it if you were being on our email list, also on our social media, is we have our first annual Purpose Summit. We're bringing in members of our coalition, our Purpose Pioneers, our mastermind, our team, many in the philanthropy world, business community. 3 weeks from today, you guys, purposesummit2017.com. Check that out. All right, we have tickets available for that in Albuquerque, New Mexico, November 3rd through 5th. We'd absolutely love to have all of you there in Albuquerque. 3 weeks from today, it's coming up so quick. We're so excited. It's just about filled up, a few seats left, but still 3 weeks left, and we'd love to have you in Albuquerque as well.
You guys, we did a great training last night on Giving Tuesday, getting you people prepared for the pre-launch, getting everyone out there, and we announced that at the Purpose Summit, it's our first annual, and it's all a part of bringing this together. It's a part of the coalition, it's part of the mastermind, it's a part of people out there making a difference. And now we're coming together. It'll be angel investors, it'll be real estate investors, it'll be philanthropists, it'll be Congress, it'll Congresswomen, it'll be state legislators. We're all coming together with a diverse set of unique backgrounds, incredible skills, and together moving forward with a plan that is truly going to change this world. So come and join us. Last night, I know a lot of people came in, Derek, and signed up. So you guys go to Purpose Summit. I'm so glad you brought that up. Purpose Summit 2017. We're going to have many of our mastermind students there. Many of our coalition members are going to be there. So, and then what I'm going to do a shout out for, Derek, is please, please, please spread the word and go to the Power of Purpose Facebook page, our like page. And Derek, tell me if I'm saying this right. We'll download our call to action for the Positive Action Coalition and an email that you can send out to your community, your tribe, your board, Tony Robbins, Ellen. You guys think big. Anyone that has a big list or community or tribe following, send it out to them and say, please send this to your tribe. And it says, join us for Purpose Friday. Click here to join. We'll see you next Friday. And we'll continue. Today's the first of this momentum that we're just going to continue on. And Positive Action Platform is where folks will come. You'll see the unbelievable video. It's the story that Skip's putting together. And then we'll be putting updates on there. You guys will be noticing. You're going to see what folks are doing on the ground. You're going to see what's happening with the money that was donated, the lives that are being impacted and empowered, the hope given, and the communities being rebuilt. So please, you guys, help us spread the word. And we'll get that up today. And so you can have the call to action and the email that you can send around the world to everybody. So the next Friday, we keep building. Next Friday, we want 10,000 people to be on Purpose Friday with us. And together, we'll just keep building it. So amazing group, you guys. I love the chat we're getting, Derek. Linda, it's so great to see you. Linda said, awesome creed. Donna said, don't forget Montana. See what I mean? All over this country, you guys. This is not just about areas of being rebuilt either. This is about bringing solutions to our broken systems. What are we leaving for our future generations? I had my little Briley today, my little granddaughter, and we were at the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, and we were chasing balloons, and we were getting cards, and they were letting her help them, and they were putting it in the basket. And it's never a time when I don't look at her and think, I wonder what kind of world she's going to live in. We can't think that. It's up to us. It's up to us to step up and take action. So come and join us at the Purpose Summit. It's going to be something we've been working on for 5 years. And now with the coalition and with the mastermind, there's so much happening. One of our masterminds since yesterday, I had a call with him. And I was telling last night, it sounds like I'm on the phone all the time. Well, I am. So I had a call with him, and we were talking, and he said, just what we talked about at the mastermind. We kept saying, you guys, Giving Tuesday, look it up. Giving Tuesday only started 5 years ago, and Derek showed where it's already increased 2,500%. Started out with like 12 million. Last year, it raised almost 200 million just in one day. That's not counting the whole last quarter of the year. So you guys have an opportunity. We're building toward the Giving Tuesday and launching something bigger than all of us. So the Purpose Summit is the time when we're all going to come together and build those Giving Tuesday. So when I was talking to him yesterday, and Derek had shared, at our live event with that. This is great for mayors, and the mayor. There's a mayor in our mastermind, and she's right there reinforcing and everything. And said, they can be the hero in the community. They can help raise the banner. They can do proclamations. This makes them look good. And she said, we'd like to make us look good, right? She's the mayor. So yesterday, he said he went and sat down with the mayor in the morning and found out, no, they've never done anything on Giving Tuesday for the city. And would he like to? And they're a nonprofit that serves veterans, that has $3 million something worth of real estate donated, working with their kind of charitable giving. So they have 2 houses that have been donated. They have veterans living in the houses. They now have a nursing home that's been donated, and we're in the middle of rehabbing that. So they're bringing economic impact to their community. They're bringing beautiful solutions to those that have been homeless that now have a purpose, because then he creates an employment where they're now building homes for other veterans that are coming in. So talk about amazing. So he's sitting with the mayor talking, and he tells him about Giving Tuesday, and tells him, you could introduce a proclamation, a Giving Tuesday proclamation that we could lead. And he said he almost fell out of his chair, couldn't get out fast enough to go tell the secretary, get this on the meeting for next week for the city council. Okay? It's happening all over. Those are the kind of stories. And then last night, Derek, when we were doing our training last night on Giving Tuesday, one of our mastermind students said, not only had he met with the mayor and got that going this week, but the mayor referred him to a church in the city next to him that owned a hotel, and he's doing veterans housing, and they're not sure what to do with it. Ended up, they donated the hotel to him to put in his mission with veterans. So that's an open door to go meet with the mayor, Giving Tuesday. So come to the Purpose Summit. We'll sit there and lay out the plan with all the toolkit that you can go home and make that kind of an impact. So I'm so excited about the Purpose Summit. Nothing like we've done before.
Lots of buzz about it. We hope to see all of you in Albuquerque in 3 weeks from today. We just cannot wait. We are ecstatic about it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We hope to see you there. And once again, one more round to our Purpose Pioneers, our Positive Action Coalition. Thank you so much for being with us today. Those of you that have been following along, thank you as well. And yes, please, as you heard earlier, take action, get involved. And again, we'll be meeting here at the same time, same day, every week on our continuing series about this, really about community, rebuilding, revitalization, and working for a better tomorrow for our country and across the globe. So it's just so proud to announce that today, the official launch. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.
And Derek, we got to do a shout out. We got to do a shout out to Tom. Tom's with us. Tom Matson's doing a whoop whoop to us. You guys are going to meet Tom. Tom has the most amazing mastermind. We went and learned from him, Derek, and Tom, and we're helping them with a nonprofit that's going to bring the entrepreneurial to a whole other level. We're going to tell more about that. And they're working with us on the book and a launch of a product, something that's going to change the face of this country. So Tom, it's awesome to see you just kind of planting that seed. So we'll bring you on to Purpose Friday and have you talk about your nonprofit and Frank and what you guys are doing. So again, Derek, I'm not trying to always have the last word, but I just saw Tom and it's like, woo, we got to do a shout out. So you guys, thanks. Go to our Facebook page, pull down the call to action and email, and let's fill up Purpose Fridays next week.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. Joining us on our Friday, our new continuing series with the Positive Action Coalition. We'll see you next time, next Friday. We also look to see all of you in Albuquerque 2 weeks from today for our Purpose Summit. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Derek.